Project Swachh.
Hi guys, welcome to New Delhi Nature Society's program, Project Swachh. Today we're going to talk to Chitra from Chintan about the solutions to Delhi's waste management problems.
Hi, I am Chitra and I've been working in Chintan for some time now, and I'm heading the advocacy and the outreach program here.
What does the organization do? What does Chintan do?
So Chintan, basically we've been working for the last 15 years, and we work in partnership with the informal recycling sector, meaning the kabadiwalas, kudawalas, the scrap dealers, junk dealers. So what we do together is that we clean up the cities, we recycle our waste more efficiently, and in the process we create green livelihoods for the urban poor in Delhi. And basically this is the informal recycling sector.
And what are the problems and the solutions?
Well, when we talk about solid waste in Delhi, it's a huge problem, because in Delhi each of us are generating at least half a kg of waste on a daily basis. And if we keep generating this in the next 10 years, it's going to be double in the next 10 years. And what's happening is all that waste which we are generating, Delhi generates close to 10,000 metric tons of waste in a day, which is a very big amount. And it all just goes to the landfills. And more and more waste will go to the landfills. The landfills are getting saturated. Everybody in Delhi has seen the Ghazipur landfill and the Bhalaswa landfill, which are mountains of trash. So when it goes to the landfill, from the landfill, then it pollutes the groundwater, because from the landfill you have a leachate, which is a toxic soup of chemicals which leaks out of garbage. So it pollutes your groundwater. Then there are cancer clusters around landfill, and there's flies breeding on waste, drains get choked with plastic. So I think the problem of waste is not something one really needs to, I think everybody understands what the whole problem of waste is. And the people who are actually handling this waste are the waste pickers, who we don't acknowledge, and we don't recognize this entire sector. In Delhi we have about 150,000 people in the informal recycling sector. We have close to 50,000 kudawalas in Delhi. What are these people doing? They are basically taking all the recyclables out of the waste, like the paper, plastic, metal. These can all be recycled. They don't have to be junked in a landfill. So without this sector, about 2,000 metric tons of trash in a day would land up at the landfill. Thanks to this big sector, at least this much waste is not reaching a landfill. So this is a twofold problem we have. One is that Delhi has a huge waste generation problem. None of us are doing anything about it. And the second is we are ignoring a very important sector which is helping us recycle. So this is the twofold problem in Delhi. And the solutions as we see it are, first, there are so many steps that the government can take. We have we have 4-5 rules and policies in Delhi, like the National Environment Policy, the National Action Plan, Plastic Waste Management Handling Rules. All these rules and policies have been drafted in the last 5 years, and Chintan has sat on several of these policy committees and tried to include the urban poor into it. And all these policies say that you have to include waste pickers into the solid waste management system in Delhi. So if we follow a few simple things, if the government does this, I think we'd have a win-win situation. One is that get doorstep collection for everybody in Delhi, and this should be mandatorily done by waste pickers. Give them money for handling your waste, so that that sector can also improve, their quality of life can go up. So have mandatory doorstep collection by waste pickers. Then rethink privatization of waste management. We have given our waste management in the last 8 years to private contractors who made a complete mess. Your waste is still lying on the road. And when it goes to private contractors, then they exclude the waste pickers. There is no recycling happening. They just take all your waste and put it into the landfill. So let's rethink private contracts and give waste pickers a space in every colony, in every ward, where they can store the waste, they can recycle the waste, they can segregate the waste. So we should give them a space instead of making everything illegal. So if the government is going to ban junk shops and junk dealers and scrap dealers, it's just getting more and more corruption into the business, because these people will then be bribing the police to work. So why are we against them? They are the ones who are recycling. Let them work in peace. And also we should look at recognizing and strengthening an existing recycling sector. So if we do their capacity building, if we include them in our rules and policies, make them feel that their contribution to Delhi is important and recognize what it is worth. because this the recycling sector is saving the municipality about 1 crore a day, just in terms of transportation costs, in terms of manpower. They are saving a lot in greenhouse gases which are being emitted at landfills. Greenhouse gases are basically responsible for global warming, for the climate changes. So this sector, by taking away that waste from the landfill, by channelizing it out and by recycling it, is saving 3.6 times more greenhouse gases than any waste management project in Delhi. So we should rethink things like waste to energy projects, which the government is pushing. It's not a solution for waste management at all. So these are the solutions we can think of. And I would also like to say, at an individual level, what we can do is, this is all for the larger picture, the waste management, but at an individual level, if you and I want to contribute, I think we should just segregate our waste at home. So you can keep your dry waste aside, which is your paper, plastics, and you can keep your wet waste aside. So wet waste, you can do composting at home. You can talk to various organizations which do composting, like Daily Dump. You can get from them home composters, which will tell you how to compost. And you can keep your knives, sharps, which are your broken blades, glasses, you can keep them separate. Don't put them into that same common garbage, because this will help your waste picker to know that, tell the waste picker that these are sharps and knives and he should not be opening it, because it might cut his hand if you put it in a common garbage. Keep your sanitary waste aside. Keep your diapers, your sanitary waste, your used condoms, keep them all separately in another bag. So what you are doing by this is you are helping this man to lead a dignified job. He's not having to put his hand into the waste. And another very important thing is that we should be using less plastic. Things which are not recyclable, things which are not biodegradable, we should be using them less. So the government should bring bans on these things, get the manufacturers responsible for things like electronic waste, for plastic. All this is there. And I would end by saying that, just say a thank you to your kabadi wala. I mean, he's doing your recycling. So all we can do is thank him.
And do you have a personal message for the viewers?
Yeah, personal message is this, that the next morning when you give your garbage to a kabadi wala, to a kuda wala, I mean, just look at him as a person, try and think, what is this guy doing? He's not, this is, you and I are just generating garbage and throwing it out. We are not being personally responsible for the waste that each one of us is generating. Yeah. So that's the personal message. Please think, what are you generating? What are you consuming? Is that extra plastic bag that you pick up from the shop really necessary? For one pen or a pencil you buy, you get a huge plastic bag. Is that necessary? Do you need that? Why can't you use a cloth bag? And as I said again, I would say salam kabadi. I mean, this guy is recycling. Let's thank him for it. I think that's the message I would like to give out. Another message which I would really like to send out to the viewers is, there's a huge problem of electronic waste today. We have a lot of chargers and cell phones and laptops and all kinds of electrical and electronic equipment lying at home, and we just don't know what to do with it. So to all of you out there, if you're wondering what to do with your electronic waste, because if you just give it to a kabadi wala or a kuda wala, there's real dangers of it polluting the environment, and also it has a huge impact on health of the waste picker also who's collecting it. Because what do? They basically put all this into acids to extract metals, and there's a lot of toxic fumes because of this. So we would advise you not to give your electronic waste, not to sell it, but Chintan is an authorized collector of electronic waste. We have been authorized by the Delhi Pollution Control Committee. So you could just send us, and if you have lots of it, if you can do a drive in your locality and collect a lot of electronic waste, just tell us, we'll come help you with it, we'll collect your waste, and we'll see that all these items are sent to authorized recyclers. So I would really encourage you to deposit your electronic waste with us.
Thank you. So thank you so much for being part of Project Swachh. We'd like to gift you this Tulsi plant.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Token of
lovely
appreciation.
Tulsi. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Please support Project Swachh by sharing. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspirational videos. Thank you.
Project Swachh.